Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video where we are going to go over the top 5 champions I think that are the best for climbing out of low elo with support. Now, this will be my personal opinion. I will have a little bit of a skew to it. I am going to be going over the meta in solo queue low elo. I will not be talking about pro play because that will vary drastically with a lot of picks like Tahm Kench and Braum that might be a little bit more difficult in solo queue. So this will be my personal opinion. I would love to hear you guys' feedback on this and really understand where a lot of my viewers are, what kind of champions they're playing. So please, if you have a top 5 supports you like to play, please hit me up in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. So a little bit of background about myself. I do educational videos, I do tip videos, guide videos, and I put a shitload of support, and I vary. My support pool has just been encompass a huge amount of champions. Everything from a kind of a trolley poppy support pick all the way up to something like a weird Karthus Cassiopeia pick that worked a little bit when I was just kind of fooling around and wanted to detail in platinum. So I've just reached diamond again by playing a bunch of different support champions, and I did it mostly playing Veigar. He's not going to be included in this list, but if you want to see kind of a really off meta AP mage support champion in Veigar, you can check out my OPGG. It is the same as my channel. Yeah, so that will finish up kind of my little bit of an intro. And please, I know that a lot of people get angry if I don't include your favorite support. I think that you can climb with any single champion. I just think these are going to have the highest impact for people in low elo that are looking to climb as quickly as possible and easily as possible. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so my pick for number 5. Now, this isn't really my cup of tea. I do not play too many tank supports, but I have just seen so many really great Alistairs that can climb and carry quite hard with him. But the things that you really need to understand when you are looking to pick up Alistair is you have your highest impact in the early game. You have just so much ability to just destroy games. And what I mean by that is rushing boots and running to that fucking mid lane. In low elo, really, people do not expect any kind of roaming from the support, and Alistair just provides that in spades, just getting up behind the enemy mid laner and then headbutting him towards your ally and getting that 2-on-1, which is going to be just so advantageous in getting that extra damage. He has high base damages, which are great. He can run that aftershock and be a he's probably one of the tankiest supports, so he can be a pseudo frontline for a decent amount of time when he has his ult and aftershock up. Another great thing that a lot of people don't understand about Alistair's kit is he is able to tower dive so easily with his ult and aftershock proc. So always be looking for that when, say, the enemy support had to back and the ADC is sticking around. Look for that dive as quickly as possible before anyone can roam and help out. Alistair just facilitates that so extremely well. So keep in mind, when you play Alistair, you really want to get as many roams off and as many tower dives off as possible. You can even do a roam and a teleport and a tower dive at the same time. A lot of the times you want to be running Ignite because it really provides a lot of early game potential. So Alistair is my number 5 pick. Extremely strong. If you're looking for a tank support, I would kind of put Leona almost. I was debating between the two which one I should put, but I decided on Alistair because he has a bit more tower diving potential than Leona. But Leona does get an honorable mention. She'll be the 6th place support for carrying, and that will wrap up number 5. Alright, and my pick for number 4 in the best champions to carry yourself out of low elo with support is Brand. Now, Brand is just holds a special place in my heart because he is the first champion I was able to reach diamond with, just spamming the shit out of Brand in that old Ardent Sense of meta where everyone was playing things like Lulu and Janna. But the things that Brand really provide in spades is his ability to get out poor ADC laners out of lane and just bully out the enemy laners, while your Vayne or your Kog'Maw or your Kai'Sa, things that might struggle a little bit in lane against a Caitlyn or a Draven or a Lucian. So if you see a rather poor laner, sometimes Brand can be a really big pick because it takes a lot of pressure off your ADC and allows them to CS quite a bit. And second up, another really good reason why Brand is quite strong in the current meta is people really do not understand that they should not be grouping up, especially in low elo. You are going to see a lot of people just clumping up in this little ball, and then your team clumps up in a little ball, and then they just run at each other and fight. Kind of reminds me of like if you've ever seen those soccer games when you're younger, and it's like bumblebees where everyone's just falling around the ball. That's what I see low elo as. So Brand is just perfect for carrying. He isn't the best roamer like Alistar is, but what he provides in spades is a huge amount of damage that is surprising and can really carry late game team fights. He is a strong, as soon as he gets his level 3, Brand is a huge threat on your team and you're able to carry quite hard. Now, this isn't going to be a traditional support, so you just had to expect you might get flamed sometimes by ADCs that are like, hey, why aren't you playing a real support? Well, the truth of the matter is they aren't worth having a true support. You do not want to have a champion like a Lulu or a Janna that is completely reliant on your ADC doing well, positioning well, CSing well, team fighting well. That is just so out of the ballpark for any bronze, silver, gold, or platinum ADC player that things like Brand can really just put you in a position where, like, if you are constantly outplaying the enemy support, it is just really going to show through that you are the better support when you do well on Brand, where it might not show through that much when you are playing something like Janna. Now we'll wrap up my number 4 pick. Alright, and my pick for number 3 is Vel'Koz. Now this will probably be the most confrontational support that I add to this list because he is very low CC and utility that he provides to his team. But what Vel'Koz does, similar to Brand, is he really is able to just get those shitty ADCs, early game ADCs, out of the laning phase with an immense amount of damage, a crazy amount of poke, a very good E that knocks everyone up, and it can hit a couple different people, which is very strong. And then once you hit level 6, you're just able to one-shot. If you hit your full combo on the enemy ADC, you're just able to carry so early, and you have 2 targets, so you have double the chance to snowball with this champion. I just think he is such a great champion. In the late game, his true damage just really crosses over quite well into the late game, where there's a lot of people that might just have a lot of resistances but not too much health. And I think that he is just an amazing champion with the amount of zone control he provides in those pits, like at the late game Baron fights, or maybe an Elder Dragon fight where there's a very condensed corridor, and that is just where Vel'Koz shines. If you can get a team fight to go on in a corridor, there's no way you're going to lose on Vel'Koz, just because of the sheer amount of damage you can throw in one area. It is just perfect for what you're looking to do, and especially with people clumping, not respecting vision, not respecting the Vel'Koz support damage. It's just a perfect champion for people that are looking to climb with support. Now, again, I know I'm quite biased towards my mages, but I think that this is just the #1 way to carry out of low elo, and Vel'Koz is one of the premier AP mage supports. If you have any questions, I'd love to help out Vel'Koz players. I haven't met too many on my channel, but if you play Vel'Koz and you're looking for some tips, I would love to help you out. Now, if you want to build more utility, Vel'Koz is actually extremely good with building GLP and Frozen Augment due to his, he already has a high amount of base damage, so he doesn't need to itemize into extremely heavy AP damage items. He can go for more utility with the slows. Yeah, that will wrap up my number 3 pick. Let me know what you guys think. I know there's going to be a few of you that is like, lol, Vel'Koz, what the fuck is that? That's not a support. But again, these are just my personal thoughts on the matter. Alright, and my number 2 pick is Morgana. There is a reason why she is getting banned so much. There's a reason why so many people are picking her, and she is extremely strong, especially after the new update that only made her stronger. They didn't make her weaker in any respect. I think she is just such an amazing blind pick that is extremely safe in almost all lanes. So if you're looking for a safe blind pick, say you're in an elo where maybe there's a lot of people that are better than you, you're not one of the top dogs in your elo, just micro speaking, Morgana is a great champion to just kind of sit in the back, look for picks with their Q, and then spell shield when they are using their big engages, and really doesn't have too many tough lane matchups. There are a few that can punish Morgana a bit, but she is just so extremely useful with that black shield and with how many bruisers you see in your low elo games, with how many fighters and melee champions and assassins. That black shields just really enable them quite a bit, particularly as well with all the hyper carries coming in, a lot of like Jinxes, a lot of just really strong, a lot of Vaynes, a lot of Kai'Sas that really can excel so much with a black shield. So Morgana is just such a great pick. She has a lot of kill potential when she lands her roots. I did a 5-tip video if you want to check that out on Morgana. I think that she's just so great with what she's able to do in team fights and just kind of pop in, hit a bunch of people with the root tether and chase them down a bit with the increased movement speed that you get now. That she is just so strong. She's so versatile. So she can be defensive, she can be offensive, she can be whatever your team needs. Your build path can change for what your team needs. You need more damage, you need more utility, you need more shielding, you need more single target prevention with things like Zeke's and Athene's and Knight's Vow, whatever you need. Morgana is your girl. She's an extremely safe pick. If she is not in your champion pool right now, you're doing yourself an insane disservice, because she just is. She's my number one go-to blind pick when I do not know and when I'm worried that the enemy team has some crazy pick waiting for me that is just going to crush me in lane. So Morgana, pick her up. I know she's getting banned a lot, but you don't need to put too many games into her before she just really starts shining as a standout pick for you. And that will wrap up my number 2 pick. Alright, and this is my number 1 pick. I know some people might be surprised with this, but if you've been around my channel for long enough, you've come to enough of my streams, you know I play just a absolute insane amount of Zyra. I think one of my most popular videos with 40,000 views is a Zyra video. I've made 5 or 6 videos on Zyra, and I just am a huge proponent of what she can do for you when you're in low elo and can carry those early game team fights. You can carry, you're so extremely strong. I know that the Zyra brand Vel'Koz are very similar to each other, but just the root CC you're able to provide, the zone control you're able to provide on Zyra, the unsuspecting amount of damage that people just do not respect when Zyra has one spell item and is post level 6, so you can one-shot any squishy. She is just so extremely strong. She can turn the fights if you're throwing all your abilities from Fog of War 2. It's just an insane amount of damage that can carry low elo. Now that I've gone over enough, I think that why Zyra is so good in carrying low elo, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, I know that some of the enchanter and tank players are going to be like, why the fuck is this guy just saying all AEP Mages sports are the best for climbing? This is off my personal experience. I've played over, God, I don't even know how many games I've played, but over 4,000 or 5,000 games of League of Legends, and a huge majority of them is support. And what you really need to start focusing on is being able to improve and get better yourself. Every single game you want to be like, hey, what could I have done better that game? How could I have carried that harder? How could I have played that better? And you have the largest upside when you play AP mages, and then it would be tanks, and then it would be enchanters. So just the amount of upside you're able to do, and how much the difference between an amazing Janna and just kind of an average Janna, there's a little bit of a gap. But the difference between an amazing Zyra is like all the way the fuck up here, and a shitty Zyra is all the way down here. So I just really enjoyed this playstyle of Feast or Famine. I think it's really exciting and what you're able to do, and you get all the pings when you do crazy plays and 2v1s and soloing the enemy ADC. It's just really, really insane. So these are my suggestions for low elo players. Once you start getting reliable ADCs on a regular basis, once you start hitting maybe diamond, maybe mid diamond, where the ADCs are worth in using something like a Lulu or a Janna, that is when I think you should start playing those kind of champions when the situation calls for it. There might be situations in low elo where the team fight is looking like, oh wow, we could really use an enchanter support right here, but you do not want to be relying on enemy team or on your allied team members. This is just a really big way to start tilting. You'll be like, oh Jesus, another shit ADC. What am I gonna do with the fucking Janna pick? You know what I'm saying? It's just a really defeated spot. But when you're playing something like Zyra, you got like 3 kills in lane, you're running around, you're able to one-shot all the carries. You're like, hey, I can fucking carry this late game team fight. I don't care what this retarded bronze Vayne that's just tumbling into a full AD Jarvan's Cataclysm is gonna do. Like, he's just gonna get get one shot and die. I actually have a lot of things that I can do in this team fight. So that is kind of my reason behind adding so many mages to this list. I know it is extremely different than the pro scene, because the pro scene has very reliable ADCs and they're able to use the coordination of something like Tahm Kench that is very team reliant but is extremely effective when played well. I know there's things like Braum that are extremely effective in pro play, but again guys, this is just for low elo. This is just to start getting you out of those positions where you have really shitty ADCs and you struggle quite a bit to carry with them. That will wrap up my video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Hit the notification button. It should let you know when I'm starting to stream. You can join the Discord if you want to send me some direct questions or messages. I try and be as interactive as possible, because I understand kind of the best part about following a smaller channel is the amount of interaction you are able to have with the creator. Where if you go on maybe a 1 million channel subscriber channel, you're not gonna be able to talk to them too much. So take it easy, guys. I'm probably going to be doing these lists for every single role. Let me know what you guys think, and I would love to hear your own personal list for your top 5 supports. And take it easy.